It's your girl Zen with another episode of ClosedWon. So here we are. It's been a while. I haven't created a video in some time because you already know we just graduated from Launch Accelerator and it has been one of the best decisions I've made. But before I go into that review, I joined another cohort called YC School, and they've been asking me, how did you get into Launch Accelerator? I want in, give me insights. So without further ado, here are your 3 tips on how to get to Launch Accelerator. All right, number 1. So back in 2018, for an entire year, for 12 months, the only thing, well, not the only thing, I was focused on 2 things. Number 1 is revenue, finding customers. Yes, that's right. I'll write another blog on why we decided to find and close with POCs versus building an MVP first. But today, the tip is about how did we get into the Launch Accelerator. The second thing I was really focused on is finding an advisor, because I knew all the things that I sucked at. I know I'm a great salesperson, but I'm a crappy tech person. I lack discernment, so I had to find coaches that would mentor me into the leader that I am growing into today. And in order to find the advisor, the tip that I would give you, and this is what I did, is I looked at all the places that I worked at. So I worked at Yelp.com, at Tintup.com. So that's TINTUP.com. They just got acquired. Congrats, Tim Sekou. And then I looked at my previous job, which is at PandaDoc as an enterprise AE. And I went after the CEOs and I asked all of them, would you be a mentor? Well, actually, no, I didn't even ask them. I just had conversations. So I asked for advice. I hopped on a call with Makito Mikado, CEO of PandaDoc, and called him, texted him, and I was like, hey, look, I have an idea. We're going to do this. What do you think? How do we do it? And he was so gracious to give us all the advice, everything that he's done to grow PandaDoc in the very, very nascent stages. And I did the same thing for Tintup. I reached out to Tim Sekou and I said, look, I'm having problems with how to motivate my dev team and my tech team. How did you connect with your product team, your tech team so well? Like, how did you understand all these words, methods, inputs, and like all the Ruby on Rails front end, back end? There's so many things. And we hopped on bi-weekly calls and they taught me as much as they could on that bi-weekly calls. So that is my recommendation. Today we have 4 advisors. The CTO and CEO at Tintup.com, or was the co-founders at Tintup.com, and then the CTO and CEO of PandaDoc.com. Thank you guys. Arigatou gozaimasu. So that's tip number 1. Tip number 2. Work with your advisors bi-weekly and really like have 3 things you want to cover. Maybe one is good. Like if you can have one thing to focus on every single week that you can apply and test, then you're growing. Because chances are when you get an advice from someone, you're gonna get, and you ask for 3 things from, like, let's say for me, 4 people, that's 3 times 4, then oh my God, that's like 12 advice that I have to put together. I'm gonna get whiplashed. Don't get whiplashed. Relax. Take a deep breath, choose one that is the most pressing, the fire situation, and work on that. Talk to your advisors, get multiple different perspectives, and ask them, how would you solve for organization? That was an example for me because I'm not the most organized person, and now I am training myself to be very, very organized. Thank you, Notion.so, for all the founders out there. This app is the bomb, and that's going to be another video. So another example of that, working bi-weekly, one of my other advisors from last year, Josh Harkis, CEO of the Closing Culture, he told me, Zen, you got to read this book called EOS Systems. So it's an entrepreneurial operating system, and I read everything and I applied everything, and it's a lot. I'm still practicing the processes today, and we still do practice them today. It has changed our game on how we communicate and how we run our meetings and how we keep everyone accountable for the things that they say they're going to do. So that's your tip number 2. It's going into multiple different directions here, but bear with me. So tip number 2, again, it is to work with your advisors bi-weekly, but choose only one topic that you want to solve. One metric at a time. So one problem at a time. Same thing, apply it. Finally, tip number 3. If you're going to find an advisor for yourself, I believe that no company is ever going to build by one person. It's going to be a teamwork thing. And in order to make that happen, your team also needs guidance. And you're not going to be able to provide them all of the things that they need or they require. For instance, my guy, Justin King, he is the man because I do not have a background in client success. I only know how to close deals. It's kind of overlapping in a way, but really it's about nurturing, right? I always tell him that if I'm the salesperson and I ask the person out to date and I court them, your job is to marry them and stay with them for life. We don't believe in divorce here at ClosedWon. And he's like, what are you talking about, Zen? That's how I communicate, and it's not enough. So I found other advisors for Justin King. Sharon from Superhuman. Thank you, my friend. You are the bomb. Diggity again. Sharon is mentoring Justin King. And they hop on bi-weekly calls and they cover 1 to 2 things that is difficult to overcome with our current clients. And she actually goes out of her way to train her like for 30 minutes every 2 weeks. And she gets to give us her swag, her superhuman swag, and that's pretty awesome too. But now we have advisors for me, for my team. And finally, this is the bonus tip of all, which is get them all on your Slack channel. Have a Slack free invite only advisors channel where you have all your advisors in one room. And whenever you have any questions on any given day, you don't need to hop on a call every single week. As long as you have a way to connect with them, add them to your Slack channel. And let's say you want to do a little bit of user research for a new user interface that you can't make a decision if you should do a toggle or if you should do a drop down or if you should do who knows whatever ideas you come up with. Ask your advisors, they're right there. So how does that even relate to how we got into Launch Accelerator? That's how we got into Launch Accelerator. It's through our advisors. I didn't apply to an application actually. It was Tim Sekou out of nowhere said, hey, would you be interested in joining Launch Accelerator? Demont, the man Demont, is looking for companies, and I think it'd be great. So we did an email introduction. I connected with Demont, shared our MRR, and ta-da! It was like serendipity. And if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, or would like to know more about how we got into Launch Accelerator, of course, that was 3 tips about advisors, I know, but you have to understand that if you're going to have advisors, make sure you are working this group of mentors, because they're an advisor for a reason, and sometimes there are advisors out there that will just fall through the cracks and you'll never talk to them ever again, and it's very hard to connect with them. So also make sure you cut those ties, because not everyone will and are a fit to your needs, and maybe it's just not time to have them as your advisor. Just feel free to let them go and say, you know, it's not going to work. In that case, they're relieved of the responsibilities, and you're also not thinking about, oh man, where did that advisor go? So that's pretty much my advice, with the bonus tip of knowing when to let your advisors go. So if you have any questions, comments, concerns, comment below. Don't forget to subscribe. Again, my name is Zen, and peace.